Blutbart.
Hello and welcome back to another behind the scenes toy photography video. This week I'm going to show you how to make a translucent Force spirit in Photoshop. I call this shot Ways of the Force. The toys I used were Luke Skywalker and Force Spirit Obi-Wan from Hasbro's Star Wars The Black Series. For a while now, I've been wanting to take a photo of my Force Spirit action figures, but despite a few attempts, I was having trouble making the ghosts look like they do in the movies. I recently had a eureka moment and realized it was all in the lighting, and today I'll show you my process. I began creating my Hoth scene by dumping a bunch of all-purpose flour on my ground surface. This stuff is really messy, so I wouldn't recommend putting it on anything you ever want to be fully clean ever again. I wanted my Luke figure to be facing slightly upwards, as if on a hill, so I buried an acrylic stand beneath the flour to prop him up. I also placed a 3D printed scrap in the back to give Obi-Wan's figure stand something to stand on. The background for this shot was something simple I whipped up in Photoshop, basically just a gradient layer with a few clouds stamped on top. With the scene set, it was time for the most important part of my setup, the lighting. I had a large softbox behind the camera to slightly illuminate the scene, but the most important lights were these two little wireless spotlights. To the front light, I added a barn door to keep the light focused tightly on Obi-Wan's upper body. I also added a light behind him with a silicone diffuser to ensure it wasn't too harsh. Here's my starting image. I actually took two exposures, and in the second one I removed the Obi-Wan figure completely. I began my edit by dimming the opacity on the Obi-Wan layer so that he would be partially see-through. After a quick touch-up on the background, I added adjustment layers for levels and saturation. My original image was very blue and I wanted to tone that down just a bit. I then cropped the image. I decided that the ghost was lacking definition in the face area, so I duplicated that layer a few times and messed around with differing opacities and layer styles until his upper body and face were more defined and easier to see. I then added some inner and outer glow with my layer adjustment panels to mimic the ethereal look of the ghost in the movies. Lastly, I used the healing brush tool to remove all the articulation joints on my figures. So once again, here's my starting image. And here's where I ended up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and make sure to check me out on Instagram. Thanks, and until next time.